Ever wonder how to carve a Patrick? Great, let's go. I really debated whether or not to do a voice audio explanation with this video. It's a pretty straightforward carve. A lot of times people just want to watch the process. Not to mention I was not blessed with the most entertaining voice. Anyway, I figured in the end there's just a few things that I could say about not the carving process, but my carving process. First of all is I am obviously a female and I am quite petite. My hands are not as big as some that carve, and so I've had to learn to adjust and do things maybe a little bit differently just to accommodate the size of my hands. This project was a little bit awkward for me to hold. It's very wide, and so it was hard to get a good grip on it as I carved. So anyway, I just moved from like the top to the bottom. When you're dealing with delicate fiddly bits like the hook on top of his head, I generally leave those until the very end so that there is as much material on it as possible, because you maybe start to grab the carving a little more tight than you realize and you can snap parts off. But filming this one was tricky just because it was hard for me to hold it and try not to cover the entire thing in front of the camera. But really for this project, I used a rough out knife, a detail knife, and a V-tool, and that was really all I needed. This isn't a full carving in the round. The back was not done. It's completely flat on the back, and I really only carved the top of it. There are a lot of people that can carve without a glove. I am not one of those people. I actually use my glove. You can see the tape on my index finger and on my thumb. On my thumb, part of that is to help cushion it because I do push on the spine of the knife a lot, and it just helps my thumb not get so raw. But also, I do use my thumb to help stop the blade if I'm doing a part that requires me to be mindful of how much pressure I am putting on the carving. I am also very particular about clean cuts. I want everything to be very clean so that when I paint it, the painting lines will be very crisp. Everybody is different, but I do believe that you can take a very simple carving and give it a stellar paint job, and you've just made a simple carving an incredible carving. Whereas you could also spend a lot of time carving a piece and then perhaps not paint it as well as you could have, and you've taken what could have been a really, really nice carving and made it maybe not as nice as what it could have been. Anyway, if you have specific questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments or send me a message, but otherwise, there's a Patrick.